What if reality is not made of matter first, but meaning? What if behind every star, every atom, every pattern, every law, there is a word? Not a word like ordinary speech, a living intelligence, a divine order, a creative principle speaking the universe into form. What if creation is not silent? What if existence is language? One of the deepest ideas in Christian mysticism is the logos, the word. But logos does not mean only a spoken sound. It can mean reason, order, pattern, meaning, the intelligence that gives structure to chaos. In mystical Christianity, the logos is not merely an idea. The logos is alive, the divine word through which reality becomes intelligible. Tonight, we enter the mystery of the logos, the divine word behind reality. Most people think of words as labels: tree, stone, star, body, soul. A word points to something already there. But in sacred traditions, the word is more powerful. The word creates. It names reality into being. It orders the waters of chaos. It gives shape to what was formless. Before the world is seen, there is meaning. Before the form, there is pattern. Before the visible, there is intelligence. The universe is not random noise. It is structured. Mathematics appears in nature. Geometry appears in growth. Cycles appear in heaven and earth. Seeds know how to become trees. Bodies know how to heal. Light moves according to law. Music follows hidden ratios. The mystic looks at this and asks, what is the source of order? The answer, in the language of the logos, is the divine word. Not sound floating through space, a living principle of coherence. The reason reality can be known, the pattern behind patterns, the mind behind form. The universe is speaking, but most of us hear only noise. This is not because the logos is absent. It is because our own inner world is disordered. A chaotic mind cannot recognize divine order. A distracted heart cannot hear the deeper word. A soul full of static mistakes signal for silence. So the spiritual path becomes a tuning. Prayer tunes the heart. Silence tunes the mind. Virtue tunes the will. Contemplation tunes perception. The goal is not to invent truth. The goal is to become capable of receiving it. What if wisdom is not something you create, but something you align with? This changes everything. Modern life trains the ego to believe it is the author of reality. My opinion, my desire, my truth, my story. But the logos suggests something greater. Truth is not manufactured by the ego. Truth is discovered when the ego becomes humble enough to listen. There is a divine order deeper than preference, a pattern we do not create, a wisdom we enter. The word is already speaking. The question is whether we are tuned to hear it. In Christian mysticism, Christ is often understood as the living logos, not only a teacher speaking wise words, the word embodied, meaning taking flesh, divine intelligence entering time, the invisible pattern becoming visible in a human life. This is a staggering idea, that the deepest order of the cosmos is not cold mathematics alone. It is personal, it is alive, it can be encountered, it can be embodied. The word does not remain abstract. It walks, it heals, it forgives, it suffers, it speaks truth. It reveals what divine order looks like when lived inside the human condition. The logos becomes flesh. And if the logos can enter flesh, then matter is not meaningless. The body is not a mistake. The world is not empty. Daily life is not spiritually irrelevant. Every action can either align with the word or distort it. Speech becomes sacred. Choice becomes sacred. Attention becomes sacred. Because every moment is an opportunity to participate in meaning or fall back into noise. This is why words matter. Human speech is not the logos itself, but it echoes the creative power of the word. Words can bless or poison. Words can reveal or conceal. Words can heal or divide. Words can create worlds inside other people. A child can carry one sentence for a lifetime. A lover can be healed by one truthful word. A nation can be moved by language. A soul can awaken from a phrase spoken at the right moment. Speech is not small. It is spiritual technology. What are you creating with your words? Chaos? Fear? Identity? Prayer? Truth? The Logos invites us to speak from alignment, not compulsively, not reactively, not to impress, but as if language carries weight, because it does. The careless word scatters. The truthful word gathers. The ego speaks to dominate. The soul speaks to reveal. The deeper the person, the cleaner the speech. But the Logos is not only outside us. There is also an inner word, a deep calling, a pattern written into the soul, a truth about who you are beneath fear and performance. Many people live disconnected from this inner word. They follow scripts written by family, society, ambition, resentment, or fear. They become successful in a life that does not speak their true name. They gain the world, but lose the sentence their soul came here to become. Every soul has a word hidden inside it. Not a single word in the ordinary sense. A vibration, a purpose, a way of being, a unique expression of divine order. To live falsely is to mispronounce yourself. To awaken is to become articulate. Your life begins to speak clearly, not because it is perfect, not because it is easy, because it is aligned. This is the power of the Logos. It brings scattered things into form. It turns noise into music. It turns confusion into meaning. It turns life into a sentence spoken by the soul. But alignment requires listening, and listening requires silence. The world is loud. It floods the mind with opinions, images, arguments, desires, and artificial urgency. The Logos is not usually heard in the storm of noise. It is heard beneath it, in the pause, in prayer, in stillness, in the moment you stop trying to control the answer. The word comes to the quiet heart. And when it comes, it does not always explain everything. Sometimes it gives one step, one truth, one correction, one phrase that changes the direction of a life. Do this. Forgive. Leave. Return. Create. Wait. Speak. Be still. The Logos does not flatter. It orders. It brings the soul back into harmony with reality. So what is the Logos? A cosmic principle, a divine intelligence, the word behind creation, the pattern that makes truth possible, the living order embodied in Christ, the sacred language beneath all things. Different angles, same mystery. Reality is not dead matter drifting through emptiness. It is meaningful. And somewhere beneath the noise, the meaning is still speaking. The question is, are you listening? Are your words aligned with truth? Is your life speaking clearly? Or are you living inside borrowed noise? The Logos calls the soul back to order. Not rigid order, living order. The order of music, the order of stars, the order of a heart finally telling the truth. Have you ever heard the inner word? A phrase that changed you? A silence that spoke? A moment when life suddenly felt meaningful instead of random? Share it in the comments. And subscribe to Mystic Pathways, because the visible world is only the surface, and beneath it, the word is still speaking.